Hello, I'm Lola, and welcome back to this next part of DragonAge Inquisition. We were just about to enter the Witchwood, the Apostate stronghold, to settle the fight between the Apostate mages and the Templars. Well, we've done the Templar encampment, sorry. We just need to sort out the mages here. Yeah, so we'll do that now. Let's dive in. We'd already started fighting them last episode, but I thought it'd be a good place to end before we go in. There's a landmark over in the other area. Sorry, my keyboard's... 1 second. Keyboard's in a really awkward position right now. Do we do the landmark first, or...? Let's do this one here. I can't actually remember the way to the Witchwood, which is odd because I've played this game a lot. Saga of Tida Brightax, Avar Mother. 5th stanza. Tida Brightax, bold and bloodied, took her tribe from placid plains, tribes with blades by farming blunted, chased and fought their parting pains. To the mountains, shorn of shelter, snow-slicked peaks gave wind its bite, found a cave to save her tribe, but dragon's fire lit the night. Beast no blade could break, came roaring, mountains slipped their winter gown, tiered shouts to leaf-eared lover, you I chose above a crown. Lightning split the spitting rains, sundered over prideful heights. Dragon fell in rubble down, crashed and crushed in earth's mad shaking. It's hard to read poems on here. I think this is the stronghold. Oh, maybe not. No, I've gone too far up. I've forgotten where the bloody stronghold is. That's kind of bad. We'll come back this way for the landmark, but... I might as well get the Embrium. I think if in doubt, follow the enemies. Ah, yeah, it's here. Okay, well. Let me sneak.
I sense magical energies ahead. The mages cannot be far.
Yeah, I think they're literally behind that magical barrier, Solas. It's pretty obvious that that's their hideout. I only have 3 potions as well, so I'm not sure how I'm going to fare in this. There's another spellbinder. I didn't even see you. Oh, Solas is getting battered. He took a potion on his own. I didn't know there was other people here. I thought it was literally just 2 sellswords. I don't know how we're going to fare in here, to be honest. We might die because we only have 2 potions. Regen Cassandra, regen Solas. Right, I've saved. So actually, let's do a hard save. We'll loot this area and then we'll head in the cave. There's a chest there I nearly missed. Good shield, but is Cassandra leveled enough? Yes, she is. Yes, we'll take that. That's a cool shield. That can go in valuables. Right, let's head in. Solas, please do the barrier. It'll come down at some point. There we are. Right, I don't know if I'm going to survive this, but we'll try. Let's get all the mages first. Right, okay. Let's focus on this mage. Cassandra, why are you still there? Actually, you chain this guy over to you. Varric's stuck in the entryway. Target that mage over there. Solas, I might need you to dispel, but for now, we'll do what we're doing. Solas, dispel this area. That work. Should probably go for the mage. Yeah. Let's all target the sellsword here. Varric should kill that mage. Let's pause a sec. I'm getting killed a little, so I'm going to put sneak on. Spellbinder. Grappling chain. Varric, hit. Me, I'm going to just hide for a little. Oh, it didn't work. Right, we're both low health. I think we'll take the last of the potions. Pause a sec. Varric. There's a spellbinder there, but... Right, they're all dead. I think this is harder than the Templars, personally. But I think we're nearly done. I'm nearly dead. Should probably regen. Well, I can't really heal because I have no potions. Tutorial. I didn't realise this was like a boss, this one.
The King's Road should be safer, at least for the time being.
Nice. Oh, and we've done a nice perk there. Influence. We'll do that at the war table. I picked up a good staff too. Glad we did this cave now. There's completed quests. Did the map, done the Apostates. Might be worth getting that schematic at some point. Or making a shield out of it. Getting some new Codex as well that I'll read later. Quite an interesting looking hideout. Literally in the middle of a hole, basically. Yeah, we do have no potions, so it might be best to go back to the camp. We have missed a landmark, but there are also rifts there. So I might leave that for now. We'll do the equipment. Yeah, that's pretty good. 27 cold damage, cunning magic. Looks good. Sledgehammer. I'll move to valuables. We've not got a two-handed person at the moment. Pretty decent helmet. Is that better for Cassandra? Yeah, I think I'll put that on Cassandra instead. I know the other one's Dex, but the Templar helmet's technically better, so you can wear that. Yeah, so we have done this area now. I think we'll do that at some point in the future. There are the Apostate Mage caches, but I kind of want to do Val Royo as soon as possible. We could get this landmark, actually. It's bugging me. Let's get this landmark. So we are technically still in the Witchwood, and we did come up to this place before. Is there another Tear de Brightaxe? Yep. Saga of Tear de Brightaxe, Avar Mother, 6th stanza. Tear de Brightaxe, proud her tribe, free from fallow fat below. Built in battle, fed on fighting, strong from struggle did they grow. Deep in caves, the Stonemen tribe, Hendir's warriors stout and strong, met the tribe with axes ready, armour gleaming. Where am I? Armour gleaming, sword blades long. Spoke with Tyrda, did her lover, gentle whisperers soft she made. Dwarven hearts were sundered, simple, still with honour. Thus she bade. Let the tribe, the dwarf men know, in their cave where they belong. Not with battle, but with trade, Hendir's dwarves give peace unbreaking. Interesting. I'm gonna have to, at some point in the future, like, read all that as one, off camera. Just to make sense of it all. I spot a demon in there. Spotted him through the window. Find a key to the cabin. I remember this. Oh, I think that opened inside then. I think I got a bit too close. A cabin in the Witchwood is locked. Find the key to the cabin. Honestly forgotten where you find the key. Yeah, can't go in there. Should we attempt the rift, or maybe not? We don't have any potions. Or do we? Because we're right in front of it. Let's save and attempt the rift. Maybe. Oh, can't save because I'm under attack. Technically not under attack. We haven't got our weapons out, but I guess we'll go for it. Have I done a rift yet out in the Hinterlands? I don't think so. I hate these things. I hit them and they disappear. I'm slowed. Don't know where I am. That one's dead. Could disrupt the rift. Okay, second wave. Not too hard. These are only level 4. Oh yeah, Varric has 6, doesn't he? Because he has the extra slot. I should have probably given that to myself, but oh well. Yeah, this isn't good. I'm stuck in the middle of this. Can't even see the rift to disrupt it. Only one more left. We might do it. Have we done it? I think we've done it.
Redcliffe has seen more than its share of troubles. That the rebellion should play out here.
Yeah, good point. Redcliffe has seen a lot of troubles. But I guess it was a place where mages went to. Might take that off. Counter-strike ring. And I'll put guard penetration on myself. I don't actually have a ring. Right, let's head back to Haven, I think. Back in Haven. Could do some crafting and... Oh yeah, Cullen's gone. I think he's with the Valroyo person. I think we'll do a bit more crafting a sec. Yeah, so I think we'll do some crafting. Do you have anything to say, you two? You usually talk. Nope. I'm not sure how many resources we'll have to do it.
Tranquil. Can you enchant runes and such?
I have not studied those skills.
Ah, pity. Well, at least you won't be causing any trouble or getting possessed.
No.
Yeah, good point. Oh, first, before I forget, we need to do Varric's weapons. Forgot to do these. There we go. That's nice and leveled up. I think I've got an okay dagger at the moment. Kite shield might be worth it for Cassandra. Won't bother naming that. Oh, wrong thing. I always going outfits for like shields. I always think it's in armor. That's nice. Shard shield can be moved. Sell everything in valuables. What else was I gonna do? Can kind of need to craft some armor, maybe. Maybe for Cassandra? It doesn't make a difference, so I guess I'll use iron because I've got a lot of it. Cassandra's free army armor. I think that's correct. Hopefully she'll be able to use it. Yeah, miles better. Suits are more as well than whatever that is. I'm going to keep that though in my inventory just because I quite like keeping the special items. Do I have anything for Solas? Won't name that. Don't mind the name. Yeah, that looks better on him as well. The other one was not, again, not looking good. I think me and Varric are okay in what we've got. Yeah. I think that'll do for now. Does Cassandra have anything left to say before we go to Valroyo?
It occurs to me I don't actually know much about you.
What do you want to know?
I'm not sure. Where are you from?
You don't know? Tell her make something up you don't know?
I thought you knew that.
I suppose I could ask Leliana. She has collected a frightening amount of information on you. But I don't want to ask her. I want to hear it from you.
No, I'm gonna tell her the truth.
Oswick, primarily. Though my business took me around the free marches.
Ah, the cartel. Odd that organized crime could be a dwarven pastime, but there it is. Tell me, do you consider the free marches your
Not
home?
really, to be
Are you
honest.
eager to go back?
Home is wherever I am. Yeah, it's wherever I am, I agree with that.
Wherever I am is home enough for me.
That's how I feel now.
I don't really have a settled
After
place, I
years
feel.
of tending to business for the divine.
The Chantry.
May I ask you about the Chantry?
It is difficult to say what becomes of the Chantry now. They have no Templars, no leadership, and no one left who is worthy of succeeding the divine. It has fallen apart when everyone needs it the most. I ache to think what this will mean in the days to come.
Should the Chantry be saved?
Do you really believe the Chantry is worth preserving?
I do. Though I understand how someone born outside of human society might think otherwise. Cast the Chantry aside and new problems replace old ones. We will have learned nothing from history. The people need stability, and the Chantry needs a new purpose. Andraste had a dream for us. It can still be achieved.
What new purpose?
So what should that new purpose be?
A dedication to what is truly important. Instead of building cathedrals and sewing gowns for the divine, the Chantry used to spend its coin feeding the poor. If we are to spread the Maker's word across the world, we must do so with open hearts and open hands.
Yeah, you do sound a bit like an idealist.
That sounds rather idealistic of you.
Does it? I do not think it's so unachievable. The Chantry has many good, honest people. They just need direction and inspiration. They need to be freed from centuries of adherence to tradition and ceremony. A chance for renewal is at our fingertips. It does not have to come with utter chaos.
Who is Chancellor Roderick?
What influence does Chancellor Roderick really wield?
He's a bureaucrat, responsible for communicating the divine's will to the rest of the Chantry. Therefore, he's accustomed to the clerics hanging on his every word, hoping his influence will benefit them. Despite that, Roderick is not a bad man.
Yeah,
He's frightened.
I don't mind
and believes
Roderick,
his
to be
place
honest.
is
I know I
to
said
fill
I
the gap
disliked
left by
him, but
Most Holy's death. Some might agree. As far down the chain of command as
I think he's just scared.
there's no one left above him.
Will he be a problem?
How big a problem could he be?
No more than he is already. He sent his message to the College of Clerics. That is the only card he had to play. Dealing with him further only lends him credibility he doesn't deserve.
Will there be a new divine?
Will the Chantry replace Divine Justinia?
They will try. Once the priests withdraw for the Grand Consensus, it is against Chantry law for them to emerge without naming a new divine. Sometimes it takes days, or weeks, or even months. The problem now is that no clear successor to Justinia exists. All worthy clerics died with her at the conclave.
What if they don't agree?
So what happens if they can't agree on someone?
Theoretically, they will argue until exhaustion takes them or they see reason. Practically, however, if the Grand Consensus goes on too long, the Chantry will crumble. Any cleric with ambition but little sense will see this as her one chance, and plenty of such clerics exist. We shall see what happens. The Inquisition must act in the meantime.
I agree. Would you serve as new divine?
If they do
Or would you
choose
serve a new divine? Sorry.
Will you serve
Stepping
her?
ahead a bit there.
That depends on whether she would have me. I am a rebel now, remember? And even if she would, I do not know. It would depend on what type of divine she is. I am no longer in a position to follow blindly, and no new divine could expect such obedience now.
Why did you leave the Chantry?
I'm surprised you rebelled against the Chantry.
I left my own order when they took the wrong path. It is no different. But in neither case did I stop caring. Indeed, I care so much that I feel drastic action is necessary. I suppose history shall one day judge my actions.
Well, that's all for now.
Thank you.
I think I'm going to talk to you again, though.
Yes?
I'd like to know about the Seekers.
Can you tell me more about the Seekers?
The Seekers of Truth were born from the original Inquisition long ago, when it united with the Chantry. Seekers stood above the Templars.
After I've watched the
watching over
movie,
them,
it's
but
really
also
interesting learning all this
investigating
about the
magical events
Seekers.
they couldn't handle. We were meant to be incorruptible, above reproach. How seldom does reality match the ideal?
But what are Seekers?
But what are Seekers exactly?
Those who know anything of us think we are Templars. We do not use lyrium, however. Our abilities are different, as was our original purpose. We disciplined the Templars and were accountable only to the Divine. And not even her, truthfully.
Then who watched
So
you?
nobody ever watched over the Seekers.
It was the Divine's duty, but she could only do so much when the truth was hidden from her. The Templars have always feared us. When a Seeker arrived at a circle, they knew trouble was afoot. That kind of power is troubling. You begin to think you are the only one who can solve the world's problems. If you don't see a problem, it doesn't exist. If someone insists it does, they are the blind
Yeah.
ones.
Could it be fixed?
Do you think that kind of problem could ever be fixed?
Possibly. Though the Seekers themselves would need to change. They were clearly not willing to, even though they abandoned everything they stood for to avoid it. In my heart, I believe they can still be salvaged, but not by their own hands.
What abilities do you have?
You mentioned that Seekers have different abilities than Templars.
Entirely. A Templar's abilities come from lyrium and are designed to hunt mages. Ours come from ritual and many years of dedicated training. We cannot be possessed by demons and are immune to mind control. Useful considering our role. Seekers can gain other gifts, but that depends on the individual.
And yours?
What kind of gifts do you have?
I can set the lyrium within a person's
I
blood
wish you'd done that on the battlefield
Both
then.
mages and Templars
We've
bend
just fought the
before my
mages
will.
and Templars. Could you
Some
not have
Seekers
done that
use
in
it
our
to
fight?
interrogate, others simply to paralyze. Once there was a Seeker who could use it to kill. That particular gift is considered rare.
Why did the Seekers rebel?
Why did your order turn against the Chantry?
We originally united with the Chantry through a treaty that stated they would keep mages under control. It was felt Most Holy had tacitly allowed the Circle of Magi to vote on its independence, thus breaking the treaty. The Seekers saw themselves as justified, and they led the Templars into a war of righteousness.
You disagree?
You sound like you disagree.
We knew what was happening at Kirkwall, where the Mage Rebellion began. We looked into reports of Knight Commander Meredith's harsh treatment of her charges years earlier. But we found so many shocking cases of magical corruption, it was decided her actions were justified. If we'd been there when it happened, if we'd looked harder at the root causes...
It was inevitable mages should be free, you care deeply about it. I don't think my dwarf would add... Like, I don't think she particularly cares either way. She'd be more on the mages be free side. She doesn't like anybody being tied down and doesn't like herself being tied down. But it's a bold statement.
You seem to care a great deal about it.
Too much, if you ask the rest of my order. When faced with a problem, the Seekers would close ranks and crush it. We would find an answer, but only once we felt we weren't being coerced. The moment the mages voted for independence, our response was predictable. It was
kind of sad to see.
To watch.
How does someone become a Seeker?
Most Seekers begin training in their youth. I was much older, an exception due to my noble birth. We train rigorously for years. Our bodies and minds must be elastic to undergo the vigil, and most fail even then.
What is the vigil?
Is the vigil some kind of initiation?
It is the rite every Seeker must go through in order to summon their gifts. A full year of fasting, prayer, and separation from all distractions, including other people. We empty ourselves of all emotion, focusing only on the purity of our devotion. And the moment it finally ends, it's wonderful. Faith realized. I cannot put it into words.
It does sound wonderful. Was it magic? You were delirious. Was it magic?
Was it some kind of magic?
I don't fully understand it, to be honest. If the vigil was not so arduous, I'd say more should attempt it. What if mages never needed to fear possession by demons?
It is an interesting concept.
I'm told it is impossible, however. I suppose I'll never know the truth of it now.
Enough talk for now.
I have no more questions.
Well, I do, because I want to know more about you. Third time.
You need something?
Tell me about yourself.
I'd like to get to know you better.
You would?
Is that a problem?
Not entirely. I'm just curious as to your motivation.
I'd like us to be closer. Suspicious, aren't you? Just being friendly. I know Cassandra doesn't swing my way. But do I still flirt? No, just being friendly.
No motivation beyond making things between us less...
Antagonistic?
Exactly.
As you wish. My name is Cassandra Pentecost, daughter of the Royal House of Navarra, 78th in line for the Navarran.
78.
I joined the Seekers of Truth as a young woman, and was with the Order until they withdrew from the Chantry. I remained as the Divine's right hand, carrying out her order to form the Inquisition. And here we are. That's all there is to know, my lady.
You worked for the Divine?
So you were the right hand to the Divine?
To Divine Justinia, yes. And Divine Beatrix before her, in fact. The position is normally reserved for Templars of the Knights Divine, but my circumstances were unusual.
Unusual how?
You don't know the story?
Oh, please tell me it. I'd like to know.
I will tell you if you wish, but it isn't as exciting as some drum it up to be. The short version is that I once saved the previous Divine's life. My reward was becoming her right hand.
What is a right hand?
But what does a right hand do exactly?
What is your hand capable of? It gives, it takes, it beckons. It makes a fist. Leliana and I extended the Divine's reach beyond the Grand Cathedral. We went where she could not. After Beatrix, I was tired of the position and wanted to return to the Seekers. But Justinia convinced me to stay. Her vision for the future gave me hope.
You believed in her.
You thought she could really change things.
Justinian knew the war was coming long before it began. She tried to avert it, but the forces arrayed against her were too strong. Sometimes you have to break a bone so it can be reset. That's where the Inquisition comes in. It was to be the answer. A means to preserve as well as an agent for change. I only wish she had lived to see it.
Yeah. How did you become right hand?
So what's the story about you becoming the right
I'd like to know the
hand?
full story, please.
Sweet Andraste, you really want to hear that? It was, what, 18, 20 years ago? Some still discuss it like it happened yesterday. The tale gets bigger each time it's told. I barely recognize myself within it now.
That's how stories work.
That's what happens with stories that become legends.
I am not a legend. Nor
I
was
really
then.
like the voice actor
I
of
was
my
a young
female
and
Inquisitor.
very
I love
young.
the American voice of the...
To hear others tell it,
Woman.
I alone saved divine Beatrix from a horde of dragons sent to assault the Grand Cathedral.
Really random I
Rather
said that, but...
impressive for such a young seeker, wouldn't you say?
It was impressive.
And the truth is,
I stumbled upon a conspiracy to kill Beatrix. A Templar Knight Commander was at its heart, and there was a dragon battle at the Grand Cathedral, but I had help from loyal mages who rallied to the cause. They freed the dragons from magical control. Without them, the Divine and I would both have died. Yet I became the right hand, and they are forgotten.
What became of the mages? You're delightful. What became of the mages?
what happened to the mages that helped you?
They went back to their circles, with rewards and privileges and most holy's gratitude. Many of them died at the conquest.
I am gonna flirt. You're delightful. She approves of that.
You're delightful. You know that?
No, I do not know that. I object. There is nothing delightful.
Oh, I
about
love this.
I beg to differ.
I think I preferred you in the stock.
You're Navarran royalty?
You're a member of Navarra's royal family?
The Pentaghasts are a very large clan. Half of Cumberland could say the same.
Really?
No, but it feels that way. I have hundreds of relatives so distant they need charts to prove we're related at all. And they have them. Oh yes. The Pentaghasts value their precious blood like it runs with gold.
So you're not on good terms?
So, not on very good terms with your family, then?
I do not visit, if that's what you mean. The Pentaghasts are famed for dragon hunting, but few actually pursue the craft. Most are fat and lazy. They pay lip service to the Maker and care only for idle pleasures and past glories. My brother was all that kept me in Navarra. Once he was gone, so was I.
What happened to your brother?
Tell me about your brother.
I would prefer not
Anthony.
to speak of Anthony. Another time.
Again, in the movie. Good backstory to Cassandra.
You don't seem to like your homeland much.
My family polluted it for me. What little I saw of my homeland was through the bars of a gilded cage. My uncle treated me like a porcelain doll to be placed on a shelf and dusted only when necessary. Thus I did not see Navarra, the real Navarra, until much later. By then I realized I knew it not at all.
What about your parents?
Your uncle? What about your parents?
They had the misfortune of taking the wrong side in the second attempt to overthrow King Marcus. The king executed them, but spared my brother and I since we were family and children at the time. Thus we were raised by my uncle, a Mortalitasi who preferred the company of his corpses to the living.
Mortalitasi?
Your uncle was a Mortalitasi?
A death mage. He still is. My
I love the
countrymen do not
necromancy
burn
stuff,
them,
so
they bury them instead.
find this very interesting Navarran
The
culture.
Mortalitasi supervise the crypts, like priests. Uncle Vestalis
Of course he's called
oversees the grand
Vestalis.
necropolis.
Reminds me of the Addams family.
Navarrans spend more time honoring dead relatives than they do with living ones. It is odd to be so fascinated with death and its trappings. I will never understand it.
That's all for now.
I'll let you get back to work.
A lot unlocked. We finished talking with Cassandra, but my god, there was a lot of codexes there. Get rid of the tutorial ones. Tails can go as well. Okay, I'll read this. One need only stroll through the Denerim market to appreciate Ferelden's resilience. You would be hard-pressed to believe that Darkspawn ravaged the city within our lifetime. Scars remain for the people who lived through it, but life moves forward. Now children play in the streets, children for whom the blight is a story their parents tell. I once heard a small boy ask what a darkspawn was. To him, it was only a word he heard from the older youths. We teach that a learned child is a blessing upon his parents and unto the Maker, and ask they forgive me, but I felt joy at his smiling ignorance. The actions of our rulers are thus a puzzle to me. Despite the events at Kirkwall, Ferelden continues to offer refuge to the rebel mages, which will only bring trouble to our doorsteps. It already has. Rumours among the merchants suggest that Starkhaven places sanctions on trade as a sign of protest. Of course, it's Starkhaven. One hears of conflict in the hinterlands between Templars and mages. We've resolved that a bit. Mother Diana says I am to accompany her to the conclave in Haven. She says to have faith in Divine Justinia and that whatever comes, we shall see the Maker's will done. Oh, she probably died here then. I think of those smiling children who have not grown up with death and fear, and I pray it is so. A letter from Sister Kira on the Denerim Chantry to her sister in the Free Marches. Well, you probably died at the conclave in that case. That's very sad. Let's read Navarra. The fourth time I attempted to cross the border into Navarra from Orlais and was turned back by chevaliers, I decided to take the more roundabout path, a ship back to Ferelden, and then another to Navarra. The outcome was more than worth the trouble. The whole country is filled with artistry, from the statues of heroes that litter the streets in even the meanest villages to the glittering golden college of Magi in Cumberland. Perhaps nowhere is more astonishing than the vast necropolis outside Navarra city. Unlike most other followers of Andraste, the Navarrans do not burn their dead. Instead, they carefully preserve the bodies and seal them in elaborate tombs. Some of the wealthiest Navarrans begin construction of their own tombs while quite young, and these become incredible palaces, complete with gardens, bathhouses, and ballrooms, utterly silent, kept only for the dead. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Genetivi. Yeah, definitely some interesting history on Navarra there. I think we'll take a break from codexes for now. We read a couple. Any special shipments? No. But at least it takes the exclamation mark off the compass.
Good luck sealing those rifts.
Thank you. Varric, do you have anything left to say? I think I've asked all those personal questions.
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also inclined toward extravagant lies.
Where are you from?
Are you from Ferelden? Orlais?
Free Marches, born and raised in Kirkwall. And despite whatever you've heard, no, Kirkwall's not that bad.
What do you do?
I'm not clear on your line of work. You're a merchant?
I'm a businessman. My family has a seat in the Dwarven Merchants Guild. Merchants buy and sell goods. Businessmen buy and sell stores. In my spare time, I manage a spy network, and occasionally, I write books.
Could you do Leliana's job with the spy network?
If you run a spy network, why is Leliana our spy master?
To be honest with you, she's just a better spy master. The truly great ones can keep their distance. They don't get attached to their people. Me, I always wind up babysitting my informants and worrying about their families. We're in better hands.
Fair enough.
You're an author. What kind of books have you written?
I've tried my hands in a few genres. My crime serials are my most popular.
It's a good series.
Guards breaking the rules to get things done. The Tale of the Champion is the most famous thing I've written.
Ah, yes, the famous champion.
I started a romance serial once, Swords and Shields, but to be honest, I don't have a knack for romances. Most of my stories end in tragedy. Probably that says something unfortunate about me personally.
What shops do you own?
What sort of shops do you own?
Actually, we don't own shops. That was just an example. Mostly we invest in money lenders. Auction houses, a few mercenary companies, a couple of smithies. I think we own half a beet plantation in Ravane somewhere. Most of that's my brother's doing. Bartrand had business sense. Not much tact, but loads of business sense.
Yeah, Bartrand's an interesting figure, especially in DragonAge 2. How do you know Cassandra?
Cassandra know each other?
You heard about the Kirkwall Chantry being destroyed?
Ah, yes.
Responsible used to
And the lover of my hawk as well.
Questions about that, and I had answers.
And the crossbow?
Where did you get that crossbow? I've never seen one like it.
Bianca, she's one of a kind. There's a hidden shop in Kirkwall called the Black Emporium. I found her in a barrel labeled swag.
I should go to the Emporium here, you know.
Sandwich and a pair of yellow ruffled pants.
Why Bianca?
Who is she named for?
I can't tell you.
Why not?
And the reason for that is...
Complicated. It's the one story I'll never tell. We just have to leave it at that.
Well, thank you, Varric.
Thanks, Varric.
No problem.
Nice talking with you. It's always good to talk to Varric. He was more entertaining in 2, I think, but he's still a very good character. Just checking if there's any...
Door again, Flissa. Don't know how it keeps breaking.
Oh. Aww.
You want to stay for a drink?
Well, maybe just for a
That's annoying. I miss that dialogue.
rumours.
Full of major... I love that song. Anything else to say?
Get you anything?
I've already asked all that.
Farewell.
Goodbye.
Just gonna have a drink and listen to this. Beautiful song. Oh, I'll be up with Cullen in a second. Let's speak to Solas a second before we go there.
Need to be careful not to do anything rash. The Chantry might yet forgive us.
Forgive us. We have the Herald of Andraste. She was sent by the Maker himself.
Some people have trouble believing Andraste would send a dwarf to do
Yeah,
harm.
good point.
If Andraste gives you the nod, you should be good in the Chantry's eyes, shouldn't you?
Not everyone saw the vision of Andraste. It's just a tricky situation.
Yeah, me being a dwarf does complicate things. It shouldn't, but it does. Solas, anything to say?
As I explored the Fade, I felt the presence of an intriguing artifact.
Ah, this is
in
his
the
quest. I remember this.
If you are willing, I would like to locate it. I have marked its location as best I could determine.
Very well.
I'd like to know more about you, Solas.
Why?
Do I need a reason? I must know I can trust you. Let's go with that. I'm gonna be mean to Solas.
You're an elven mage. Not from the Circle, not Dalish. You're an unknown element. I wouldn't trust my life to a blade before I'd tested its balance.
Nor would I. All right. What can I tell you?
Your whole life story, please, mate.
What made you start studying the Fade?
I grew up in a village to the north. There was little to interest a young man, especially one gifted with magic. But as I slept, spirits of the Fade showed me glimpses of wonders I had never imagined. I treasured my dreams. Being awake, out of the Fade, became troublesome.
Yeah, that sounds dangerous.
Did spirits try to tempt you?
No more than a brightly colored fruit is deliberately tempting you to eat it. I learned how to defend myself from more aggressive spirits, and how to interact safely with the rest. I learned how to control my dreams with full consciousness. There was so much I wanted to explore.
Clearly you woke up.
I gather you didn't spend your entire life dreaming.
No. Eventually, I was unable to find new areas in the Fade.
Why?
2 reasons. First, the Fade reflects the world around it. Unless I traveled, I would never find anything new. Second,
Yeah, good point.
the Fade reflects and is limited by our imaginations. You find interesting areas.
Yeah, and you're not very
must
interesting.
be interesting.
Oh, I'm so mean to him. Is that why you're here?
Is this why you joined the Inquisition?
I joined the Inquisition because we were all in terrible danger. If our enemies destroy the world, I would have nowhere to lay my head while dreaming of the Fade.
Hope that works. Weird, but good for you. Well, that's unnatural. I'll go the middle. Weird, but good for you.
Well, it's not the worst reason I've heard to go out and enjoy life.
I'm glad to hear it.
He disliked humour,
True.
of course.
I have enjoyed experiencing more of life to find more of the Fade.
How so?
You train to flick a dagger or an arrow to its target. The grace with which you move is a pleasing sight, then. You have chosen a path whose steps you do not dislike because it leads to a destination you enjoy. As have I.
And where have you studied?
You said you'd traveled to many different places.
This world, or its memory, is reflected in the Fade. Dream in ancient ruins, and you may see a city lost to history. Some of my fondest memories were found in crumbling cities, long picked dry by treasure seekers. The best of the battlefields. Spirits press so tightly on the veil that you can slip across with but a thought.
Which battlefields?
Any place in particular?
I dreamt at Ostagar. I witnessed the brutality of the Darkspawn and the valor of the Ferelden warriors. I saw Alistair and the hero Ferelden light the signal fire, and Logain's infamous betrayal of Caelan's forces.
Tell me what happened.
I've heard the stories. It would be interesting to hear what it was really like.
That's just it. In the Fade, I see reflections created by spirits who react to the emotions of the warriors. One moment, I see heroic wardens lighting the fire, and a power-mad villain sneering as he lets King Caelan fall. The next, I see an army overwhelmed and a veteran commander of...
The second reason I believe more.
And you can't tell which is real?
It is the Fade. They are all real.
Debatable.
Have you always traveled and studied alone?
Not at all. I have built many lasting friendships. Spirits of wisdom, possessed of ancient knowledge,
Your feet,
happy to
look.
share what they have seen.
Crusty as
Spirits of
hell.
purpose helped me serve.
Sorry.
Even wisps, curious and playful, would point out treasures I might have missed.
Wisdom and purpose?
I don't know of any spirits by those names.
They rarely seek this world. When they do, their natures do not often survive exposure to the people they encounter. Wisdom and purpose are too easily twisted to pride and desire.
Those are demons' names.
You're saying that you became friends with pride and desire demons?
They were not demons for me.
Meaning?
The Fade reflects the minds of the living. If you expect a spirit of wisdom to be a pride demon, it will adapt. And if your mind is free of corrupting influences, if you understand the nature of the spirit, they can be fast friends.
That's amazing. Nah, it isn't. Can they be your friends? Spirits are not your friends.
When I asked if you were with anyone, I meant other people.
Ah, people, as opposed to spirits. We are flesh and blood, so we are real. Is Cassandra defined by her cheekbones and not her faith? Varric by his chest hair and not his wit?
You need a body to be real? Spirits are people. I'm not arguing this. Spirits lack free will. All are wrong, and he's going to argue it. So I feel like I'm going to say I'm not arguing this. I'm being so mean to Solas right now.
I'm certain you have some rhetorical trick ready to counter anything I say.
It's likely. I've had a lot of time to discuss the question with people. Or spirits, if you prefer.
Well, goodbye.
We'll talk later.
Of course.
That was a bit frosty. I don't think me and Solas are getting along, just to guess.
Here, sir. With Cedric's compliments, sir.
What's the catch this time?
No catch, sir. Said he wanted to help the Inquisition. Plus, I think the herbs were going to go off and nobody wanted to buy them. I think Cedric wanted people to like him.
Well, good enough.
Yeah, good a reason as any. We'll do some equipping. I've got loads of elf fruit because I did buy some at the crossroads. Solas, don't even want to give you any. No, I'll stop being mean.
Perhaps another time.
Or will I? We'll do some research, might as well, since we've got the stuff for it. Yeah, increased healing and increased duration. Nice. We'll leave those because we can't do anything with it. Tonics. Don't have any. Don't think. Nope, no grenades either. Oh well, we did a bit of improving. Anything else to say? Or are you gonna hate me?
Yes.
We'll talk later.
Of course.
I don't think I've had this tone before with Solas. One where he genuinely, like, is very angry with me.
At least we've got Inquisition troops out at Redcliffe, giving those people some real...
It's almost as if Mother Giselle brought the troops out there by going herself.
Oh yeah, Mother Giselle's here. I keep
Someone
forgetting.
against the bandits who are preying on the refugees.
Should probably speak to Mother Giselle. But let's do this first.
Your kind killed the most holy. Lies. Your kind let her die. Shut your mouth, mate!
Enough!
Knight Captain.
That is not my title. We are not Templars any longer. We are all part of the Inquisition.
And what does that mean
Roderick.
exactly?
Back already, Chancellor. Haven't you done enough?
I'm curious, Commander, as to how your Inquisition and its herald...
Your ears are sticking out again, love it.
Of course you are. Back to your duties, all of you.
Well, oh, they were bumped together then. Let's see what they have to say. I really like Cullen.
Templars were already at war. Now they're blaming each other for the Divine's death.
Not the voice actor, but I like Cullen.
We require a proper authority to guide them back to order.
Who? You? Random clerics who weren't important enough to be at the Conclave?
The Rebel Inquisition and its so-called Herald of Andraste? I think not.
We're not so terrible.
I don't know. The Inquisition seems about as functional as any young family.
How many families are on the verge of splitting into open warfare with themselves?
Yes, because that would never happen to the Chantry.
Centuries of tradition will guide us. We are not the upstart, eager to turn over every apple cart.
Cullen, why is he here?
Remind me why you're allowing the Chancellor to stay.
Clearly, your Templar knows where to draw the line.
He's toothless. There's no point turning him into a martyr simply because he runs at the mouth. The Chancellor's a good indicator of what to expect in Varric.
Definitely. Is the Mage Templar War large?
Widespread is the violence between mages and Templars.
Impossible to say.
Your organization flouting the Chantry's authority will not help matters.
With the Conclave destroyed, I imagine the war between mages and Templars is renewed with interest.
But who killed the Divine?
The mages and Templars are fighting, even though we don't know what really happened at the Temple of Sacred Ashes.
Exactly why all this should be left to a new Divine. If you are innocent, the Chantry will establish it as so.
Or we'll be happy to use someone as a scapegoat.
You think nobody cares about the truth? We all grieve Justinia's loss.
But you won't grieve if the Herald of Andraste is conveniently swept under a carpet.
At least he's taking my side. Good luck keeping order. I hope this trip is worth it. Good luck keeping order.
Don't let anyone riot while we're gone.
The walls will be standing when you return, I hope.
Yeah, me too. Anything else to say, Cullen?
I will keep the peace while you and the others appeal to the Chantry in Val Royeaux.
Better ready yourself for the blame you will be rightly assigned.
Okay. I thought I didn't mind you, but you're annoying me, Roderick.
I think the card is going to wait and see. If she sticks around and the Chantry comes to respect her, that's good for business. And if they burn her at the stake, well, we didn't say anything about Andraste, did we?
And she's all right with that.
I don't see that she has much choice. She's stuck at the table. Best she can do is roll the dice and see how long her luck holds.
You're gossiping about me, but very true. What do you two have to say? Yeah, you're not speaking now, are you? Now I've joined in. Sometimes you two speak. I was coming over to trigger some dialogue, but not the case.
Master Harry said that without more ore, he won't be able to get blades for the recruits.
Tell Master Harriet that ore doesn't grow on trees.
Yes, Mom. I think he knows, Mom. He talked about how we have to dig it up.
You find anything we need, let me know.
Leliana, anything else to say?
Reports of fade rifts and demons keep coming. The people are terrified, and it's only getting worse. The only thing that will calm their fears now is the hope that someone out there can save them. You have to be that someone.
It's a lot of responsibility.
Seal them. Your legend will spread, and Thedas will learn to trust the Inquisition.
Why do you care about mages?
Why do you want me to seek out the rebel mages? Why do you care?
I've known mages. Some of them were better people than me. And yet I'm free and they're not.
Yeah, I agree with this. Tell me about yourself.
Let's talk about you.
Me?
Got any stories?
Bards tell tales.
Throwback to Origins.
I bet you tell some good ones.
There are plenty of tales in the library. Perhaps you should.
She's grown up now. She doesn't want to tell them.
What did you do before you worked for the Divine?
I was a bard, an Orlesian spy for many years. For a time I also served a small cloister in Lothering. After the Blight, the Divine called on me to oversee her personal network.
I'd like to be a bard.
Can you teach me to be a
Could she
bard?
train me?
Being a bard is so much more than being a spy. It involves a keen understanding of politics, the ebb and flow of influence, the great game. The bard's is an intricate dance where a smile can be sharper than any dagger. The best way to learn is to immerse yourself in it.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like that.
I'll teach you.
I should leave you to your work.
We can always talk later.
I have more to say, to be honest.
Did you need something?
They called you the left hand of the Divine.
That they did. What of it?
What is it?
What exactly does the left hand of the Divine do?
A Divine always has enemies, and Justinia had more than most. I protected her. I watched, had an ear to every door. I identified threats, and I dealt with them.
Why so many enemies?
Why did Justinia have so many enemies?
There were many who felt she was unfit to be divine. She had a past, a worldly life. Unlike many, she wasn't given to the Chantry as a child. She chose it, and somehow that made her unworthy. And because they thought she was unworthy, they wished her harm.
So yeah, it does.
So you were her spy master too?
I handled difficult situations that couldn't be resolved through more delicate means.
Fair enough. Why start an Inquisition?
What is the point of an Inquisition?
Justinia would have started the Inquisition if the Divine Conclave failed to restore peace. She hoped that with enough support, we could challenge the very tenets of the Chantry. She wanted the Chantry to treat the mages fairly. But sometimes I wonder, why stop
I think mages was the first step, maybe.
Has committed many injustices. If we're going to change it, why not change the whole thing? It's just a thought.
You sort of have to trickle it in.
None of this will be
You can't just change it all straight away, but I get your point. I agree with you, I just think mages was the start of everything.
Are you saying we'll fail without the Divine?
I'm saying I thought it would be her leading us. Nothing more.
Some interesting dialogue. I've not chosen a couple of the bottom options with Leliana before. It's interesting to hear them.
I could use the left hand of the Divine at my side out there.
Every agent out in the world is my eyes, my ears, my blade. Wherever my people are, I am also. Coming with you, leaving my post, would blind and bound me. Do you see?
Tell me more about Justinia.
I'd like to hear about Justinia. What was she like?
A friend. A mentor. Like me, she had secrets, made mistakes. It made her human. I think her followers responded to that.
Were you more than friends? How did you meet? Their age difference? Not that that's an issue, but I imagine not, to be honest. I'll ask it anyway.
Was there something more than friendship between you?
You're asking if we were lovers? Typical. I was devoted to her, therefore it must be romantic. Love is common. Love is simple. My bond with Justinia was something greater. She was a sister, a mother, a teacher.
Respectable
So to answer your
titles.
question, yes, it was more than friendship.
How did you meet?
How did you and Justinia meet?
I met her a long time ago, before she became divine. Before she was Justinia. When I met her, she was Mother Dorothea. I was at my lowest. Broken, lost. And she saved me. No, wait. She hates it when I say that. I saved myself. She just showed me it was possible.
Let's continue this later. That's a good talk with Leliana.
Come back alive.
Hope so. It'd be a bit of a waste if I didn't.
Only the word. Sing only the chant.
I will take these injury reports to research him in Nave.
Right, we'll speak to Giselle before we advance.
How fares your quest to seal the breach?
Damned if I know.
Well, you know how these things go. At least I hope someone does.
You laugh to bring a little light into the darkness. And I'm glad to see it. Too many see laughter as antithetical to the chant of light. They imagine Andraste as a grim warrior all her life, forgetting that she loved and was loved in return. I hope she found time for laughter during her trials, as I hope you do.
Yeah, that scares me, to be honest.
You keep talking as though I'm the equal of Andraste. Do you know how unnerving that is?
I can only imagine. But we are all given to our purpose under the Maker. A sword
If you believe in the Maker.
to be forged. And frankly, if such a comparison gives you pause, I do not see that as a bad thing. In any case, I pray this Inquisition proves less brutal than its predecessor.
The history of the Inquisition?
Can you tell me about the original Inquisition?
The original Inquisition was formed after the First Blight, well before the Chantry as we know it. The Inquisitors were hunters, zealots, who tracked and killed cultists and dangerous mages. As Andraste rose to power, the Inquisition came into her service. Instead of hunting those who would do harm, the Inquisitors spread the chant of light by force.
Falls isn't the best option. We're named after that.
No wonder everyone is so nervous around us. Who chose that name?
Divine Justinia herself. I understand that this was not a popular decision. In any case,
Guess she wanted to be forceful at the conclave. It was a good move.
There was less need for zealots. The Inquisitors became the seekers of truth, and eventually the Temple.
Sorry guys, my game just tabbed out then. It tabbed out when she was saying this sentence. Don't know why. I got an update. Came up and tabbed me out of the game, but back in. Okay. Why bring us back? So we're true believers, and now you're back, and now we're back.
And now the Inquisition has been called again to restore order by force.
Do you know what impresses me most about the original Inquisition? They fought horrific battles, killed and died for their cause, and when it was time, they put their swords away. Perhaps the name was Divine Justinia's message, that when the Inquisition is needed, it will strike without mercy. But when its work is done, it will put
Good comparison, to be honest. Who will be the next Divine?
You know who the Grand Clerics will choose as the next Divine?
It is a difficult decision. All the obvious candidates perished with Divine Justinia at the Conclave. The Grand Clerics are terrified of the Inquisition. They will not decide soon, and I fear they will not decide wisely. Whoever is chosen needs the Inquisition's support. No one else seems likely to seal the breach.
And the Chantry?
You know, I grew up around humans, but I never learned much about the Chantry.
It's good that it's incorporated my Dwarven heritage into this.
Too many think that the Chant of Light should only be sung by humans. The truth is that knowledge of the Maker and Andraste should be open to all who wish to learn of him. We believe the Maker created us, and that mankind's sinful nature caused him to turn away. With Andraste's blessing, the Maker will forgive mankind once the Chant of Light is sung from all corners of this world.
Interesting. Why only human women?
Why does the Chantry allow only human women to become priestesses?
The official doctrine is that elves and dwarves
What about Canary?
have turned further from the Maker than humanity. And as for men, the chant holds that they are more vulnerable to anger or passion. But in truth, it is simply political. Added after Andraste's death, like too many of our beliefs.
If you believe that, then fight.
If you don't believe these restrictions are what Andraste wanted, why haven't you tried to change them?
Has the current state of the world not taught you the folly of fighting too many
Yeah,
battles
I get what
at
you mean.
once? I chose to use what power I had to help peasants forgotten by the nobles of Orlais. I believed there would be time to address their inequality under the Chantry once we had saved them from starving.
Mother Giselle's a figure that I like and don't like at the same time. It's a weird one. Like, I really don't like her later on in the game, but then what she's saying now, I understand.
What is your stance on magic?
Andraste put it simply. Magic must serve man, not rule over him. However, those words must be put into the proper historical context. Andraste led a rebellion against the Tevinter Imperium, whose magisters controlled most of the world at the time. Even then, she never called for all mages to be put to death. She believed in peaceful coexistence.
The Chantry is more stringent.
I don't recall the Chantry being as tolerant of magic as you describe.
No. The Chantry is an imperfect vessel, pulled in every direction by those who would steer its course. Yet the Templars rebelled precisely because Divine Justinia was not restrictive enough. Perhaps the Inquisition will find a better way.
What about the Exalted Marchers?
There were calls for an Exalted March to put down the Mage Rebellion. What was your opinion?
It was ignorant gossip. An Exalted March only succeeds when it carries the will of the people. Even then, it cannot be undertaken lightly. People are too easily frightened. We cannot destroy everything they fear. An Exalted March is justified only against a true threat to this whole world. It is an offense to the Maker to use it as a political bludgeon, or as a means of spreading the chant of light.
And the March in the Dales?
What about the Exalted March that conquered the elves?
That is a hotly debated matter in some circles of the Chantry. The elves had conquered Montsemard and threatened Val Royeaux itself.
Yeah, she's got a point, to be honest.
But even then,
they do paint each other as victims in some instances.
It was hardly an exalted march of all the faithful. The Maker wishes his world to spread by example, not by war. We win no converts with blood.
Well, thank you for the conversation.
Farewell.
Farewell.
I think there was more to say, just to ask everyone how they are. How are the people?
How are the people doing after what happened at the Conclave?
They are scared, of course. Many have lost homes or loved ones. I doubt many will sleep well until you have sealed the breach. I have offered what help I can. The rest is for the Inquisition. What more do you wish to know?
People at Haven?
How are the villagers in Haven doing?
They are terrified. Many of them came here because the war between the Mages and the Templars destroyed their homes. In their minds, the death of the Divine has destroyed any chance of peace. To that, add the breach. Farmers have fled their fields. If we do not restore order, half of Thedas may starve.
Frightening thought.
What are you doing to help these people?
My sisters and I have been tending to the injured as best we are able. Some refugees come with food, while others arrive empty-handed. I have helped ensure that all have enough to eat. Beyond that, many simply wish the familiar comfort of the chant of light. It is little enough work to offer some comfort to those in pain.
And how are the people elsewhere?
Do you have information on people elsewhere?
The refugees in the Hinterlands are desperate.
Yeah, I've still not got the blankets or killed the rams.
Villagers in Crestwood.
Yeah, we'll go to Crestwood soon.
They have sent word begging for assistance. People are vanishing in the hills of Emprise de Lyon. It may be demons or something worse, but they are terrified. More than that I cannot say. It is a chaotic time for all in Olay and Ferelden.
Well, goodbye.
Farewell.
There's one more thing to say. I'll click on you again.
I greet you.
Can I help with anything?
I can do to help you or your people?
My healers would benefit from more supplies. We have run short of even common goods with so many wounded. If you could deliver this list and the items on it to Quartermaster Thren, she could get us what we need. It may not seem like much, but it would enable me
I will do.
to save many lives.
Goodbye.
Farewell.
Long conversation. But we will. I've got the herbs for it, so let's do it.
Stay safe out there.
Let us make it. Craft. 1 power.
Nice work.
Very nice. Right, on that note, we're going to end this episode here. Next time we'll talk to Josephine, and then we will head into, I was going to say the Chantry. We're in the Chantry. We'll head into the War Room, do the War Table missions, and probably head to Val Royeaux. Very talky episode, but accomplished a lot. So yeah, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.